starting from scratch and with no code. So we are explaining in these tutorials all this procedure until at the end we'll be able to publish the applications on the Play Store and on the App Store. So, well, thank you if you're watching this live. If not, you can see on the description a link to the full playlist where you can find, well, from the beginning, how to create an application for delivery. Well, the last video, we started creating our application. We started creating the user management of our application. So we added the login with different social networks, Facebook, Google, Apple. And once the user login using one of these social networks, we redirect the user to a homepage. Today, we are going to explain how you can read information from the database to show the products here on your homepage. And then after you show these products, you can go to the product detail and add to your cart to continue with the application. So welcome to this second tutorial and let's start. Okay, after the user login in my application, so the next step is to show the products and, well, first the categories and second the products we have available. We have this design we added from a template. So I'm going to delete the example containers. I only need single container on each list. This element is a representation of all the elements we are going to add from our database. So I only need one of these elements on each list. You can change the design if you want. So it's not, it could be any design for your products. You only need one thing when you want to create a list. You need a special structure for the containers in order to convert these containers into a list. You can see here on our left side a control tree is the list of the controls we have on our page. And as you can see, we have this container, and inside we have another container. This is the structure we need to create a list. We need a parent container and a child container. The child container will be a representation of only one item on our list. So we're going to start creating this list here. This list is a list of the categories. I'm not going to use this second list for the reference categories. I am only going to create this list with all the categories we will have, and this other list with the top products. No, so I'm going to display here the top products we have available, and here we are going to display the category of the products. So once we have this structure with one parent container and one child container, let's start to add the functions. First, we're going to add the event onload. Onload is an event which is called each time that this page is loaded. So when I log in, I'm going to be redirected to this page, and this event will be called in the moment the page open. This event will be called. So the next thing is to get database data. Get database data is a function to read from the cloud database. You can see I have a cloud database and a local database. The local database is stored on the device and will be available just from the same device, but the cloud database is stored on the cloud, as the name says. So I can read the information from any device, and I can see the information here on the editor. So I'm going to add the get database data. I have some options to filter from start to end and filter the results, limit the number of results to first, for example, the first 5 results, the 10 results, and order by some property. And also we have an option to have a cache of the database. So of this query. So if we read the database and we add a time for cache, if we read again, so we are going to read the cache instead of read from the cloud. Well, we are going to explain this better when we optimize the application. So I'm going to click on Open Database Browser, and then this is in this window is my database. So I have the option to start adding collections. So I'm going to add a collection called categories. And another collection called products. So I have a collection called categories, and inside this collection, I can create another collection, or I can add some fields. I'm going to add a field called name, which is the name of the category, and also I can add a new, like the image, to add a name for each category and an image also. Well, that's enough for now. And we can add the categories here. If I click on View Data, I will see this table with all the data I have on the database. Well, now it's empty because I don't have any data. But if I click on Add, well, I have a form to add more data. For example, the name could be, I know, desserts. Desserts, and I need to search for, well, I'm not going to add an image for now, just desserts. I know, just food, and another category for groceries. Okay, I can edit this information later. It's just for example. So I have these 3 names for categories. If I want to edit, just click here and change what I need. Okay, so I have these 3 categories. So once I have the categories, after get the database data, I have some callbacks. The callbacks for permission denied, which is the callbacks I will be called when I don't have permissions to read the information. Empty data when I don't have any data on this collection, or data obtained when I get the data. The end callback will be called every time, so doesn't matter if it's empty or if I have data, this will be called every time. So, well, it's a good callback to add the list, because if sometimes if I don't have data, I can call the function, but as I don't have data, the list will be empty. Okay. So I add a function called add collections to UI. These functions, the add collections to UI, allow us to create lists on our screen. So I click on this function, and I will send from the entry bars from the previous outputs. I will be have available this function for get database data, which is the function I added here. So I can read information for the output of this function. So I send this information as an input for this function. I'm going to enable the horizontal list, because I want to have these categories in horizontal, and click on modify elements. So I have 3 steps here. The first is to select where I need my list. You can see that I can select this container to create my list. So I click on this, and now it's selected. The second is I have a single item for my list. So I can change the elements to have the changes from the data I have. So for example, I want to display the name of the category here on this text. So I'm going to change, I have the properties of this item I selected. So click on text. I'm going to change the text of this field. And from the entry bars, you can see I have this entry bar here. This entry bar has the context of the list. This is the context of the data I am reading for the database. You can read a single field for each item on my list. If I have many items, this will represent a single item. So from the database, I am reading all the categories. And I want to show here, use the name of the category. I write name because it's the name I have for this field on the database. Okay. And well, that's the basic for a list. The third option is to add events for each element. For example, when I press category, I will open another screen with well, the products from this category. Okay, but for now, with this, we can test our application. I'm going to open here. I'm going to reload. I need to sign in again. And you see, we have our categories from the database here. So, well, now I have the categories. I have an icon here. I'm going to delete this icon and replace with an image. So let's change the size of this image, maybe 50 pixels. Yeah, just a small image with this with the image for the category. I can search on internet for some images for the categories. If I double click on the image, I will see this screen. I can upload an image from my computer. So I'm going to upload some images. For example, this for groceries. And you will see the URL, the image. I upload the image and I have this URL. I can add to my database for groceries and also for food. I'm going to add a second image here, double click and upload an image. Okay. I'm going to use this image in this, and finally, last one. If you have your images in your website, you can copy and paste the same link. Just take in consideration that your server needs to be available so you can see the images on your application. If not, you can upload the images here. So now I have the 3 images. So if I reload the application, okay, to avoid to log in every time I reload the application, let's add an event here when this page loads. I'm going to check if the user is already logged in. With this function, we can check if we already have a session. And if we already log in, I'm going to replace the screen and send to the home screen. Okay, so with this function, I don't need to log in each time I reload the application. So I click on the reload. Now I am on the home screen. But you see the image is the same for all the categories. This is because I need to change this image on each of the categories. I just need to change the source and from the list, write image. I write image because this is the same name I have from the image here on the database. Okay. So if I have a different name, just write the same name. Okay, now you see I have different images for each categories. Now I have my list of categories. Now I'm going to create a list of products on my homepage. So I'm going to do the same, but with another get database data. This time I can add descriptions, for example, categories. Here, just click here on the edit, and I can add descriptions for the functions I am adding to identify better what is the function of each function. No? So open database browser, and this time I'm going to read the products. Well, each product has a name, has an image, and also a price. Right, that's not enough for now. I'm going to add new product, for example, cake. And I'm going to add cake image. So yeah, I'm going to save this. cake, I don't know, $10. And let's upload an image of a cake. Okay. Okay, I have an image for a cake. So go to products, edit, and add the URL for the cake. So I have this product for now. So I can read all the products. If I add an identifier, it means that I am only going to read a single product. If I don't have anything here, I'm going to read all the products from the collection. So after read all the products of the collection, I'm going to add the add collections to UI and add you see that the name of the function, the name I set to the function is here. So I see that I am using the information I get from the database as an entry bar for my function for add collections to UI. This time the list is vertical, so I don't need to enable this option. Modify elements. As you can see, I can select the list. This is why I don't have the correct structure for create a list. What I need is first, you have a container, and inside this container, I need to have a single element. So I have a parent container, which is the limit of the list, and a child container inside. When I have the correct structure, I can choose this element. I don't have, yeah, I have an image here. Okay, so once I have it, second tab, I can change the name of the product. And also the price. Oh, sorry. Text and price here. We're going to change the format of the currency later, but for now, we're going just to show the number. And finally, replace the image here. Okay, now we have the name, the price, and the image. Okay, let's test the application. We need to reload. And you see, I have the name, the price, but I don't have the image. I'm going to add I can add any image here. But I just need to have a default image. Okay, so if I reload again, I have the cake. Now we have the image, the name, and the price. And we have this for add to the cart. This is an icon. I can change here the text instead of the this. Yeah, that's great. So I have this button to add to my cart. So if I reload, I have ready my categories and my products. So I have the categories, I have the products. So when I click on a single product, I'm going to send the user to the product detail page. And when I click on the categories, we're going to send the user to all the products from this category. So also it's important in our database have the category. For example, I have the desserts category. So I can edit to add a category to my cake. Okay, we will need another page with a single product. This is a template with a single product. It has the product name, the description, the category, the price, and space for the images. If I have many images, or for now, I just need a single image here. Okay, we can replace to see how it looks like. The image of the product name, the price, the category, the description, and the quantity, and the button to add to my cart. And well, my cart sometimes, well, we don't have the cart here. The usual is to have the cart here. And on the product detail, I click and I see all the product description and the option to add. Well, I'm going to move this option instead of has this option here. I'm going to move this option at the bottom and change the width. Now has for 35 width. I'm going to change to 80. Looks fine. Okay. So let's change a little bit the space here and changing the distribution. This is the distribution of the container, 70%, 30%. So the first half of this container has 70%, and the second half is the 30%. So we will have here the quantity. And so we have space for the product name, for the category, and for the description. I'm going to add this field here on the database for description. So we have the name, image, price, category, and description. And when we press this back arrow and press, I'm going to return to last screen. So we're going to return to last screen when they press this. So now we have our product page. The next thing is to send the user to the product detail. So if I press on the product, I'm going to send the user to this page. On this page, I can read again the information from the database, but well, sometimes it's not the best idea because it takes time to read things from the database. So the best is to send the information I have here. I have the price, I have the image, and I don't have the description here, but I read the product detail from the database. So I can send all this information I have from the product to this page and show this information on each element. How can I send information between pages? Okay, for send information between two pages, we can use the page input data. This is available on the second tab, and I need to create variables. These variables are the variables we are going to use to send information between pages. For example, I'm going to create a variables for product data. Okay, so I have this variable here, and now from the home page we have this function to read the products from the database. I'm going to click on modify elements. We already modified the elements, but we are going to add a function on the on each element when someone's no when someone's press the element. So when I press a single product, we're going to push screen. We're going to send to the product page. You can see that I have now this option for an entry bar because I create this on the product page. So it opens because I need to send the information for the product. For the product, I can send all the information I have for the product. So I just need to click on all item. All item will send all the name, the description, the image, all the fields I have on the product. And I can use an animation to send to this page. Okay, push the screen, and I am sending the user to their product detail. Once the user entered to this page, I need to show the information of the product, the name, the category, the description, the price, and here also the title. To identify each control, the same when we create the sign up form, we can change the name of each control. For example, change this for title, this for name, this for category, this as price, and this one for description. And we have changed this for quantity. Okay. So I'm going to add the unload event on this page. And now we're going to add some modify controls. The modify control is a function that allows us to change elements on our screen. For example, I'm going to change the title. So I can search here for the title. And I'm going to change the text of the title. So I need to choose the elements, and the property are going to change because I can change, for example, the color or the background or the decoration or what other properties. But I'm going to change the text, and I need to add some information to send to this text. If I write this any text, I'm going to replace the text for the title for this text. But I'm going to use the information I am receiving from the other page from the product. So this last tab for the entry bars, I have the context type, application or page. I'm going to use the page, and I can choose the product data. So I'm gonna use the product data to change the property, specifically the name. So I'm going to use the name for the product data to change the title. And also I'm going to copy and paste. And this container we're going to change for image. Okay. So then to show the image, image, well, that's the property. And I'm going to choose the container for the image and change the background image. The background image is the property of the container to display the image. And I'm going to copy, paste, and then the name again. But I'm going to search for the name control, which is this control, and change the text. Next control, which is the category. The category and search for the category and change the text for this category. Then the same with the price. And change the text. And finally, with the description. And change the text. So now we are changing all the elements from the information we are reading from our database. So let's test the application. I'm going to click on refresh application. So I am on the home screen. I have the categories. I have my product. If I press on the product, now I'm going in the product detail. No, I have the cake. Is the category desserts. And if I press on back, now I return to the home screen. So now that we have these functions for the product list and from the product detail, we can add more products on our database, and these products will be added automatically to the list we already have. Now, for example, ice cream. So I'm going to add an ice cream. And let's add an image for, well, the price, shirts, delicious, ice cream, delicious ice cream. And I'm going to add an image also. I'm going to load an image for an ice cream. Copy this image here, and in the database, I'm going to paste the image for the ice cream. So if we see on our application and reload, now we have the cake and the ice cream. Okay, but something's happened here, because as we have our parent container for the list, we have this container here. So the list limit is the size of this container. But what happens if we need a list that increases the height as we have more elements? Okay, it's easy. So what we need is to enable the option for auto 8. If we enable this option, the list will increase the size as the number of items inside the list increases. So if I reload, now I have my products, the cake, the ice cream. If I press the ice cream, I have the ice cream detail. If I click on cake, I have the cake detail. So well, now we have our categories and our products we need in our homepage. And well, that's enough for now. On the next tutorial, we're going to see how to add this product to our cart. So we're going to add these products to the cart in a local database to change the quantity and add these products to our cart. Well, we are going to see this tomorrow at the same time and explain and continue with this application for creating an app like Uber Eats, an application for delivery. So thank you and see you tomorrow. And also invite you, if you have doubts, you can join us to our community. It's free, the community.apphive.io, and also visit us on apphive.io to start creating your application for free. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.